welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so sorry for not posting for so long. I did not know what to post. Today I will be doing 2 story times with fidgets. I'm not going to say any of their names because that's just an information. Okay, whatever, let's start. So the first one was when I was in first grade. And, so basically, me and this girl, we're gonna call her Bestie. She was my bestie. So, basically, me and her were like BFFs. We were inseparable. We were always together 24/7. Like 25/8. Okay, whatever. So, we shared computers in first grade, and there's this thing called I'm not saying it actually. And there was this thing where you could do it, where you could like play on your computer, draw. You could basically do like a lot of fun stuff on Fridays, and you could play computer games and stuff. So me and her always wanted to play computer games, and we had turns, like her 1 week, me 1 week, but she would always take my turn. So I got upset about that and stuff, but I was too scared to speak up. So that's my cat. I'm sorry, guys. So, anyways, what happened? Oh yeah, guys. Also, this was like a couple years ago, so I don't remember clearly. So 1 week she said, "Hey, PJ, I'll give you $2 if you let me have your turn." And I was like, no, not $2. And somehow got up to 20. That's crazy, but whatever. Patch. He's dead. Whatever. And so, I was like, sure, because you always take my turn anyway. So, so how do I say this? So basically, it was her turn like 2 weeks ago, and she had her turn. It was already her turn before we did this, and then we established it the next week. And then it was this week, and I said, Evelyn, it's my turn this week. And she didn't understand. And I was like, oh, okay, but she already told the teacher. And so, yeah. And then the teacher was like, wait, what? $20? Okay, come into the hallway. We'll talk about this. So, she was like, PJ, you have to give that back to Bestie. And I was like, oh man, and I started crying, and Bestie started crying too. And so the next week I gave her the $20 back, and then so we kind of became friends over time, but like I would play with them sometimes and stuff. Because it wasn't completely her fault. I told the teacher about the $20, but then she moved somewhere. So yeah, sad. Anyway, the second story is, so I was best friends with this whole girls group, and it's really fun. We would always eat lunch snacks together at recess and stuff. And but I'm really tall, and I used to not be able to speak up for myself because I think I already said it. I was kind of scared to speak up, you know, but at that time I was learning to speak up and stuff, so they thought I was an easy target to pick on. And so I'm tall, so I'll weigh more than them, of course, because yeah, that how it works. So they would always make fun of me for all of that stuff. And then one day I was like, okay, I have enough of this. Y'all are making fun of me, blah, 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 blah. So just stop. I'm not. And so I spoke up for myself with this other girl, and I said, hey, blah, 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 don't say this to me. And they all went on the other girl's side instead of my side, and they said, we're kicking you out of the club. You can't sit with us anymore. But whatever, I had this other friend, and he was a part of this gang. I know, they call it a gang. And so I said, hey, are you a part of this gang? And he said, oh yeah, I am. So I said, oh, that's great. Can you help me out? So since we were friends, he said, yeah, sure. And so, dang, this is really bad. So, I got all these kids rounded up because I used to be the leader of the group. That is a long story. Has to do with the $20 stuff. Anyway, smells pretty good. Smell, smell, smell. So, and there's this other kid. I also knew him, and yeah, no one liked him. Well, I feel like they excluded him. I don't know if they liked him, but they excluded him a lot, which I feel really bad. No one should exclude anyone. Anyway, so I got him, and I was supposed to tell them when to go attack Patch, and it was so funny, like actually, and move Patch. And so basically, I was just with the kid that got excluded a lot, and me and him were just talking, walking, and then there were Patch, a group of kids just running at that whole group, and I was like, oh my goodness, we are cooked. And then the other kid, we're all about to get I'm not saying it either. It's like these little paper things, and like you get in trouble with it. Yeah. So they were about to tell. I don't know why they didn't tell, but oh my goodness, this kid had a stick and they were putting it in their face, and it was chaos because I've got the other gang to do this before, but like it was just like for play, you know. They would still let me in their group and stuff, but yeah, no, this group was way better. So yeah, that's all. I will try to like make a whole bunch of videos today. Yeah, because I haven't done posting at all. This is my cat. His name is Patch. He's deaf. I love you, Patch. Anyway, so yeah. Tell me if you want me to do the iconic by mistake dance. So, bye Pookies. Bye icons. I love you.